Hello all, this is Zimnala coming at you with another adventure in the Planet Crafter Toxicity DLC. Took a couple minute break, and we're heading back in. So yeah, let's take a look at what we got going on. So we only have 3 more areas to clean up, and it says that there is only 83 more pieces left in it, so those areas seem like they must be teeny tiny ones. So we are past the 1G for unlocking that little path that we couldn't get through, so we're gonna contemplate what we want to bring with us on whatever journey we go on. But we are going to take a journey yet again. So we're going to need more beans, of course. Did I stick titanium in one of these? I sure do not see any. Okay. That's okay. We do have extra titanium. I was just seeing if I could clear some space. So yeah, we are going to actually go towards that new area. Might as well. But we are first going to take a sojourn over here along the way just to look at what's going on, so that we don't leave it for too long. But there shouldn't be too many huge areas left because we seem to have cleared up most of the goo, so how many more big areas could there be? But there's probably some really cool little secret areas, and we're gonna look around for those. It's cool to see some of the big trees kicking around over here. I don't really expect too much to have changed at the refinery, but I like to check everything out, you know? We'll only get one real chance to find out, so we might as well do it while we still can. You can see the little plants growing in the maze. Let's refill our oxygen before we get in too deep. Does seem a little bit more lush, at least there's more color here and there. We haven't cleaned this water out either. Oh boy, more sandstorm. Well, I guess we saw what we were gonna see, so. The tour will continue. So we are going to get on top of there because that will let us get to where we want to go. But we can top off along the way. This should be the ladder up. And we just have to get on the one of these paths that has the mushrooms, so that will be the correct one for heading in. Another piece of iron, and yeah, I'll take a couple pieces of water. That doesn't need to sit here. Not that I think we'll need all the water, but you know, doesn't hurt. Oh. Is this actually it? It's covered in this, so maybe. Can I just ride it? We're on our way. There is a chance this just leads to that little section we were cleaning from the other side, though, so let's find out. Oh, actually, I think it is. Then why did it say 1G if it wasn't correct? Okay. But there was still a path over here we did not explore. It was through the cave. We're gonna crash. What's gonna happen? Blam. Look at that. Such crash. Alright. Well, we found out. So that means we potentially just want to move that. It's not that it was a problem, it's that it was kind of disconcerting. So yeah, let's slam a couple of storages in here and sort out what's going on. I probably should have brought some of the goo. Oh well. I did bring a little bit, I guess. I guess it at least isn't very far. And it's not even a waste of resources because we're going to be tearing these down anyway, so. We'll just get the same resources that we spent over here back. Pocket full of hopes and dreams, and we are going to be on our way. Well, this doesn't actually need to be here. This isn't going to be helpful to us, so let us send it back. Goodbye. Guess we could drink some of our water. We could eat one of our foods. So yeah, we are going to head down, because this led to the caves. And that we didn't finish exploring. So looking at the monorail, this just leads to the prison, right? Yeah. But the other way we didn't go all the way. So this might also just loop around. I might be crazy. Maybe it is. Oh wait, no, there was a deeper part of the cave. No, I just need to get back into the cave. That's right. There is a lot of treasure in here, though. What's going on right here? That's just treasure. You are just treasure. There's treasure up high. That's probably how I got in originally anyway. Unless it was just farther back in this cave and I just wandered past all of it. We'll see. Oh no, this was the way I came in. Alright. Let's refill our errand. See if that isn't just a big old circle. Then maybe the deeper areas are through the big purification thing in the center of the world. Because I think you do drain the water. I think that is something that will happen there. And just cave just turn into a big circle at some point? Or did I just get randomly turned around for no reason? Like, what's going on right here? It feels like I could get out there if I tried hard enough. That's more treasure. How poisonous is it? 200? Okay. So I have to remember that there's a water area to get here in this cave. In almost the deepest part of it. This is also underneath the tree, by the way. Like, there's 2 ways to get here. So this part is actually relatively close to our base. I guess there really isn't that much here other than just like a big old crystal cave with like treasure. I see. Also, this rain is really, really loud. It's part of the same water. Yeah, it's part of the same water. This part of the cave is bigger than I expected, though. Maybe there is something else going on over here as well. I will set up a building. At the very least, just to get air. I guess I'll pick up some of this stuff. At least give us something to pick up, you know? I'm sure I could find enough to shove into our little basin. I see some friends. These guys had a good time. This must be the last few people that they left behind, if I was to guess that we heard that tidbit about it. They must have had a last stand here that didn't go so well, you know? I mean, a building might have gone better for you guys. Yeah, there's straight up mushrooms growing out of you, did you know that? There is a little section here. I think this is the part that leads to the other section. No, it's a little base. Oh. Okay. Let's read the message. I was drawn here. I know it now. I understand. It wasn't me who chose to descend into these caves. I felt a calling, so I followed the invisible trail. I'm delighted with what I found. This calling follows me, growing stronger each day. I feel it deep within me, this irresistible pull, but it's warm, pure, comforting, and I want to experience this for once in my life. Purity, comfort, benevolent protection. To leave everything behind, to stop questioning, just to savor the moment, even if it's the last. Oh boy. Who doesn't love that? Anything juicy in here? You're just a heater. You're just treasure. There's power in that direction. Can look over there in a second. Let's go top off and come back. Oh, there it is, just floating. Yeah, I know you have strong feelings about breathing. I don't get it, but I suppose. I was trying to figure out what's glowing purple. I didn't see anymore. Yeah, I know. Okay. Do we have enough to fill up in our truck? Not really. I guess we could loot the chest and just take whatever it has and put in our truck, though. So maybe I will sort that out. Tree bark is not important. I did that backwards. Oh, that's not bad, actually. Saves him making it. I guess rocket's not too shabby. Was there more? Crystal. Everything's just glowing purple. Good enough. Alright, let's drop off extras in here. Place down more storage. Might as well just clear out this corner. Be kind of dumb just leave one treasure chest sitting there. We will be back for this. I am going to explore deeper that way. See if I have the materials to build another base though. Not here, but maybe along the way I can get the rest. Titanium, iron, 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 titanium, where are you? Okay, so we looked at what's going on at this base. There was an area behind it we're gonna look at. Over this way. Oh, well. Such area, much wow. That was exciting. There we go, I'll just put it down for posterity. Where they intended it to be. Now it just helps us. Yeah, there's treasure up there. That's it, though. Guess we should fill our pockets with whatever we want and mosey on then. Oh, I'm so dumb. This is actually a purple one. It's not more... Okay. Yeah, these floodlights can be changed to any color you want them to be. I forgot for a second that that was the way that worked. Well, we're completely full, so maybe we should return. Process what we have going on. This is totally fine. We didn't actually need to come this way. Let's look what's going on up here real quick. I think I see an E thing going on up here, maybe. Does that look like a drill? No. Huh. That looks really cool. This might be another part of this area. Does lead up into that. Is this the part that was calling to people? Did they join a fungal collective of some sort? There's a lot of mushrooms. Just saying, it could be a mushroom cult. On another note, is I didn't build enough resources, bring enough resources to make another base thing, so if we end up in trouble, we're in trouble, but I think this is the way out anyway. Or at least they lead out in different ways, so. I guess it's the kind of like choose which way you want to get out kind of scenario at this point, because we've been out both main ways. I think this leads out to the tree, if I was to guess. Yeah. See, we found the way out to the tree too. Let's see what the top of the tree looks like these days. Nothing too new. Yeah, we'll head back to base and sort out stuff, and we'll start progressing our terraformation further and further. We had all the crystals up here, so we can immediately drop those off where we want to. We are, of course, going to need more space for these. Look at us, putting it in backwards. What a treat. Well, solved that. What did we have working on this? So if we wanted to make more and more of this, we would need tungsten rod, huh? Yikes. Yeah, we were hitting a tungsten scarcity, so we do need to go out there and grab some more of that tungsten, but we did find another little stash. So that's nice at least. But for making plastic, we could just get the plastic going along. We could start that process. First, I'm just gonna put away some of these extra rods and whatnot. Had a tidbit one. Okay. So for plastic, we wanted, it was the goo. We were out of goo, weren't we? We did not bring goo with us. We need goo. Well, that's funny. That was the problem. Alright, I understand. But what's interesting is we actually have enough rods currently that we could be fine. So this is actually not that expensive, but it does take a couple tungsten. Do we have any tungsten, or did we use literally everything? I think we did use pretty much everything. And we have enough to make one of them. So it is interesting is that one of these is actually worth all of the other ones put together. So we could tear down all of them and recover their plastic. But more importantly, their purification gel, so. There we go, level 2 jetpack. I guess it took a couple of blueprints to get that next piece. What would that take? So this would make us faster. We might as well do it. So that needed sulfur, which we had some in our pocket, but we emptied it. That would take superalloy and osmium and aluminum. Was that everything? Yep. Bam, we be faster. Let's see what this next one looks like. Is it bigger? That's a little bigger. Just a little bit bigger, what do you think? But it's essentially doing the same thing. And these, while they do help a little bit, they pretty much aren't worth the power they cost at this point. We could probably sort this out a different way. We just explore a little bit more. What is interesting is we could make some more plastic. Well, that's cleaned up at least. We have plenty of purification gel, actually. What we need is just the tungsten rods, so yeah. Let's bring our vehicle back. Let's clear out some of this. So part of this goes here. Blam, blam. Let us figure out. Those components go there. Let's just get this nonsense out of my pocket. Well, that sorts that out in a roundabout way. So we don't have that yet. We were considering making the GPS one so we could get a good idea of where the different areas were. We should also potentially do this one, but that's also a little expensive. So we need 3 rockets. No, 2 rockets. We already have everything we need here. What are we dilly-dallying for? So we built most of this and we found some of it. So we need to build another rocket piece, which is going to be this. Some more alloy. Might have to break one of the rods for it. Nah, I think we're good. Blam. Though I think we do need to break one for more alloy for that, so let's take care of that. Any stray pieces? Okay. Bon voyage, GPS rockets. That was level 2, by the way. Let us see if that means I don't need to do level 1. Let's find out. I think I skipped a step. Yeah, you can skip steps. Okay. So yeah, now we can basically zoom out up to that level. So that is that middle area. This is the dam. This right here was the end of the world in that direction. This is no man's land. This was the desert area, and over here was the starting area. This map goes suspiciously far in this direction, though. And this is that little, like, refinery area. This is that little plant area. This is the prison. You can see the tram lines that goes through there. This goes underneath. These are the mushroom things, by the way. This one leads over here to this little... to this area, and then you go through the dam right here. This place is still toxic, and so is this. So you can see which waters are still toxic here. I don't see any more above ground areas, so we've definitely cleared out the above ground areas as far as I can tell from this. Now we are missing probably blueprints at this point for getting the better information from this. Can I make a map one? I don't think I can. So yeah, I don't need to do the level 2 rocket, I guess. I guess I can save the rocket. Which means I can use it on the other part of this coming up. Which will be the toxic areas one. Okay. How's toxic doing? Well, it's not really a problem. Okay, let's go get our materials over here that we saw that we need, the tungsten, and then we can see how much tungsten we have to work with. I'm hoping that it's at least one rod. We are hoping for 2, actually. We can also stop by the water purifier and empty it one time. Which is why I'm gathering iron along the way. Well, this definitely is going to overwhelm all of our current storage, so we are going to need to make several more. We already anticipated that, so no surprise there. But it is already almost a quarter of the way cleared. And this is at least on par with the biggest area to clean that we've seen for water. Okay, well that's what we wanted from there. We got that one of the stages along its development. Now up here we saw a whole bunch of tungsten. I doubt it's a huge amount. It might only barely fill our pocket. But we are going to get what we can. See much sign that any of that is tungsten, so I think it's just up here. That does not look like enough for 2 rods. Nuts. There is other things we can try for it. I'm going to guess that that little like toxic area near the refinery is actually a tungsten refinery spot for the ore extractor. We don't actually have the rocket to figure out where they actually are, but I'm guessing that might be it. So if I bring the level 2 over there, it might just work out. Just don't want to give me it? Okay. I was just making sure the game hadn't bugged out in a more advanced way. But just didn't like the angle, whatever. Pocket full of iron and hopes and dreams. Oh, well that's a problem. Whoopsie doodle. It's gonna be real close. Good thing we increased the acceleration, right? First step, make a tungsten rod. We need toxins. Okay. Can do it in either spot. That's fine. Yeah, we're just shy of it. Unfortunate. Okay. I don't know what else we need for this, but I think that that is what we need for the toxic. For the most part. Let us see. Needs a mushroom. Okay. Why wouldn't it need a mushroom? I guess I did move them mostly down here. Okay. Oh, and plastic. Ah, nuts. Okay. Whoopsie-doodle. Let's not get caught on geometry. So this is our toxic information rocket. We're gonna launch this up. This should show us on our map where toxic areas to clean up are, of which there's 3. I'm assuming it's going to also highlight the water that we need to clean as well, but we'll see. Such goop. So there's still toxic there. Starting area is clear. The refinery is clear. So there's a goop down here and there's goop under here. So those are the 3 areas left. So like I theorized, the last areas are pretty much under there. Does that 3 left to clean? 3 left to clean. Yep. Okay, we have confirmation. Oh, well, that's not what I wanted to click on. You. Put this back in our pocket here. We can drop some of these off. Cool. So now we can start figuring out what we actually want to work on. That is terraforming related. So we need to make butterflies. As funny as that sounds like to say. So you know how we built these in this direction? Got other things we could do. We could go a different direction. We could just keep going that way. There's so much room over the rocks. I might just keep going that way. So the first step is just keep growing. There are other things we could do. We could just keep going up. Nothing stops us from just keep going up. We could also just build on top of that rather than going out further. So what did these stairs take anyway? I know it was a pain to make, but we could make another one. Aluminums. Alright, we got plenty of that. I want to see where that puts it. That puts it right here. Thing is, we have to go even higher if we wanted to. I don't think I can place it, but it's not gonna let me even look, is it? Gross. Okay, so we're gonna go up one more level. Either way, we're gonna go up one more level. That puts that in at looking like this, which isn't ideal, but you know, that's fine. We'll deal with it. We can pretty it up later, supposedly. This should be tall enough for what I did want to do. So we need, I'm going to start with 2 of the enclosures. So we need to figure out what we need to make that work. We have access to the tree bark, which I had right up here and in this corner. Gonna need more. I should have grabbed more, but no, 2 is fine. We made 1 level 2, didn't I? I need to make another level 2. That's what I needed methane for. Well, we have it. What else does it need? Squash and that. Okay. What else does this need? Bacteria, we got some of those kicking upstairs. Okay, what else does it need? Super alloys and zeolites. So I know where the zeolite is. Was it 1 or was it 2 each? Okay. Is that sulfur? No, we need 2 each. Okay. So zeolites were right up here in the corner. And so are the mutagens, actually. Well, they're not actually mutagens yet, but they will be someday. We should go to the outside to build it. It'll be easier to visualize Hopefully this is already tall enough, otherwise we'll have to go up one more. Did I not make a second one? Wait a second. I could have sworn did I just not grab it? I know I made one. Ah, son of a gun. Bam, some butterfly terrariums. This will also make our base more visible. It'll have more than one function to it. Yeah, so we can put special butterflies in here at some point. But just having this out here is adding insects to the world. So this was a new metric that we had not made any of. And we can't build this until we get actual larvae out there of the bee kind. So putting insects out there will make them start spawning in the world. So there are other things we're going to work on that involve tree spreaders and flower spreaders. But I am going to take a short little break, and I will return with you shortly where we will start working our way through that quickly. Y'all take care now. I'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye.